And welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Matt Del Vecchio, specializing in life transitions, the senior living industry, and elder care planning. Little Robert Palmer there. Can you see the four ladies in the background playing their guitar, watching MTV, bringing you back? As you probably heard just before we went out to news, I wanted to tell you about an interesting, I guess that's the best word I could say, but my appointment with my GP, my doctor, what I thought would be my annual checkup. It lasted a whole 6 minutes. In fact, when I got in, he says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm here for my annual checkup." "Well, we don't do that anymore." And I was kind of stunned. Here's my doctor of over 30 years. "No, we don't do that." He took my blood pressure, and that was it. He wasn't attentive. He didn't really care, and he clearly wanted to make it a quick visit so he could move on to other patients. I even said, "Look, I've got a really sore throat. Can you check my throat at least?" And he says, "No, we don't do that anymore." I said, "Well, what if it's strep throat or something?" He says, "I'll just add it to the requisition for the blood test and I'll get a strep test done." So here we were. It was like a standoff. You could imagine. We're in the doctor's office, me and him, and he won't even check my throat. And I was actually stunned. When I walked out of there, I was really upset. And I've known him for years, a great guy, but it's like the system has just beat him up. And you know what? I guess we're paying the price for it. So it made me thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? There are so many people that don't have a family doctor. I think it's over 800,000. Different reports. Some say 1 million, but there's a lot, hundreds of thousands of Quebecers that don't have a family doctor. And here I am saying, do I look for a new doctor? What should I do? And I really don't know. And I said, you know what? We're going to throw it out to our listeners. What are they doing? What are you doing to get some medical advice? What are you doing to get a family doctor? So I want to hear from you. Call me, 514-790-0800, or text us, 514-800. That's 514-800. And the lines are lighting up in text as well. So let's go out to Pierrefonds, and I want to hear from Rudo, if I have that name correct. Rudo, are you there?
It's Rudolph.
Rudolph. Okay, Rudolph, how you doing?
Pretty good, Matt. Your story is somewhat reminiscent of my story with my family doctor. I just want to say that back in December of 21, my doctor left the provincial system to go private. All four of my family members were with this doctor. We all lost our doctor, and we're now in the process of looking for one. We registered, and fortunately, my wife, who is in immaculate health, got a family doctor in about a couple of months. And then I found out that last week she got another call, and they offered her another family doctor. So I'm asking, I said, well, why are you getting a second family, no potential for a second family doctor when I haven't even got one, and there's not even a chance of me getting one?
And you went through the same process, Rudolph, of applying and getting yourself on the registry, on the list?
Absolutely. We all did. We all did it together, and it's been almost a year and a half now that we're waiting. Like I said, my wife did get a doctor, and I've had certain health issues recently, and I've had to use Click Santé and 811. And had I not done that, I would have potentially died because I ended up getting cellulitis, and it was a very bad infection. And had I not been treated on a timely basis, it could have been very serious. Wow. So I used Click Santé. I did get an appointment with one doctor who did not diagnose me properly. I didn't believe the diagnosis. I did it again. Got another doctor who immediately saw that this was a serious condition. He told me to go to the Lakeshore Hospital. And I said, yep, I'll go in the morning. He says, morning, yeah, in the morning. Do not hesitate. This is serious stuff. So I did follow through, and I had excellent care at the Lakeshore. But the problem is follow-up, okay? that was a one-time affair, and to try to get a follow-up afterwards, you can't.
Right. Yeah, that is exactly the issue. Rudolph, I want to thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad to hear that the 811 option worked, and it's something they call GAP, right? We love acronyms in Quebec. The Guichet d'accès à la première ligne is what it stands for. And if you are on that waiting list, like you are, Rudolph, it's 811 option 3. And if there is something wrong, well, at least you'll get that one off. But like you say, the challenge is with the follow-up.
Absolutely.
So, Rudolph, thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, please call us in 514-790-0800. Text us at 514-800 to hear what you did. We'd like to share with our listeners what you've done to find some solutions about medical advice. The texts are coming in, and I'm going to try to get through a couple of them here. One of them said, I'm using my pharmacist a little bit more to get some medical advice. You know what? I even find myself doing the same thing, asking more medical questions to my pharmacist. I'm getting answers. Obviously, we can't get prescriptions, but pharmacies and pharmacists are becoming a great resource in this era of what we're in having difficulty trying to get some medical advice. Another text had come in about private clinics. There's a bunch of private clinics, and believe me, I'm fully aware that not everyone can afford private medical clinics, but we're seeing more and more of them. Obviously, with over 800,000 people waiting, if they could have done private medical clinic, they would have. However, that field is becoming more and more popular. Someone challenged me the other day. I had to buy a barbecue, and mine's done. We're getting good weather, and it's going to cost a few bucks for that barbecue. And I was also telling my doctor dilemma, and he said, Matt, you're thinking about buying a barbecue and you don't want to go private. Something doesn't jive. Yes, it's probably going to cost you a little bit more for private medical, but maybe you should sacrifice that expense of a barbecue and worry about getting, if you can afford a private medical clinic. And it really shook me and made me think. So, this is why I think a lot of people are going that route of private, also understanding that it's not for everyone. Boy, the texts are coming in, and we certainly appreciate it. I think I'm going to get to some of the texts. I think we have Patricia on the line in LaSalle. Patricia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi. Hello. Thanks for taking my call. When you spoke, it was like a carbon copy of what I went through with my doctor. He was like, you would say, the best. All of a sudden, when I go there and I said, okay, say for instance, I sign and I said, my legs are hurting. And then my stomach is hurting too while I'm there. And I said to him, also my stomach. And I'm on the table with him. And he goes, oh, no, I don't have any time. And I'm like, I'm on the table. You could just check me. He goes, no, I don't have any time. And then in my family, we're full of breast cancer. I said to him, I need a mammogram. He says, do you have lumps in your breast? I said, no. He says, well, the doctor doesn't do that because you're over 70. So if you have a lump, come back.
Yeah. Amazing. So what are you going to do, Patricia? And this is what this is about. Life unrehearsed. We're all dealing with this life unrehearsed, and have you given some thought as to some solutions, or is it a situation, I can't give up my doctor, and I don't want to wait that year period?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But you know what? I have also a good gastrologist. So when I have when I can get through to go to him, then I'll go and I'll ask him for the things that I can't get from the other one.
It's amazing you mentioned that. I have a cardiologist myself, and I'm finding he is also very, very helpful and answering a lot of the questions that my GP is. I almost feel guilty asking some of those questions.
So do I.
Yeah. Well, Patricia, thank you very much for calling in.
And it's a great what topic you're doing. Thanks.
Well, thank you. And obviously by the I can't get to them all, and I apologize. I've got time for one more quick text that came from Sherry, and saying relying on virtual health. And I think That's an important one. Again, we're if you are part of, I know I am. I'm part of a group insurance plan with my own company, and I have a group insurance plan, and they are really pushing the virtual health aspect and not replacing doctors, but getting a doctor. By the way, that possible strep throat issue, I talked to a colleague of mine, and she said, Matt, I just called the virtual health line, said I had a sore throat, just like you did, and I was on virtual health. They made me take a picture with my own phone of my throat, and right away they gave me a prescription, and I was done. Went to the pharmacy that morning, and I said, my goodness, I never would have even thought that. And obviously got a fix for the sore throat a lot quicker than I did. So thank you, everyone, for calling in. We'll obviously have to address this issue again, because it is a factor that's not decreasing. It's increasing for everyone. But we're going to continue along the lines, and we're going to open up the lines again. And I want to address specifically for caregivers.